What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Your guy Derek Larger, and guys, I wanted to kind of bring this up because this is a very interesting thing here that just came up just an hour or so ago, and we were talking about the Indianapolis Colts star running back Jonathan Taylor has officially been placed on the PUP list before the start of training camp. This is very interesting, guys, because um I didn't expect this kind of news. I don't think anyone really did. This is very shocking because even though the Indianapolis Colts um had kept Jonathan Taylor out of pretty much everything else up to this point, um we had been told, by several people, including Chris Ballard, that, Jonathan Taylor was pretty much fully healthy. He did have that ankle surgery back in January. So he's been at least 6 months since his ankle surgery. And from all accounts, I mean, it clearly wasn't, an ACL or Achilles or anything severe to that knowledge of a surgery. So, recovery time shouldn't have really been taking this long. Uh, so this is definitely a surprise because, with Jonathan Taylor being placed on the PUP list, that can mean a couple different things. Um, First things first, the Indianapolis Colts, if you place the player on the PUP list before training camp, uh, it just means that they won't count towards the roster until, they come off the list. And that just means, it's a good way to make sure that if issues are arising, that that player can still remain within the roster until it's time to play. And that's just a way to make sure that the numbers are okay for training camp. Um, but with it being this kind of an injury and this kind of thing going on, uh, this could mean potentially that the severity of the injury that we heard about from before, maybe he sustained a different injury, um, or re-aggravated the other one, and maybe there's more to it than what we're hearing or realizing. Um, or it could potentially be about another thing, which was about the contract. I mean, guys, it's no secret, okay, that Jonathan Taylor has voiced his frustrations about the NFL running back market. And he's been one of the forefront guys at this whole movement, talking about how he doesn't appreciate how guys like him are not getting paid big time money like some other guys do. So it's definitely very surprising for that. Now, again, I'm not 100% certain of this, and I understand people will say, like, you can't just place a player on the PUP list just because of a contract dispute. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, physically unable to perform, there's a lot of between the lines sort of rules here that kind of allows them to be able to do that. But listen, guys, we saw again that, Chris Ballard in his presser said that he's going to, have discussions with Jonathan Taylor today again about the contract. I just find it very coincidental that he wasn't placed on the PUP anytime before this. Um, we have, we now have this issue where we hear about this whole thing with the running backs. Chris Ballard said that he was, for the most part, fully healthy and ready to go. And then we're hearing about him talking about this market and, him having contract negotiations because they said they were going to try to get this done before camp. And then, of course, here this evening, we find out he's on the PUP. So I mean, I find that very coincidental that that these events are all happening in order of each other. And of course, like, who'd have thunk it that Shaq Leonard would not be on the PUP list to start training camp, but yet Jonathan Taylor is. Like, I haven't heard anything about like a increase in the uh timetable for his ankle. I haven't heard anything about that. So unless the Colts like completely swept under the rug how bad Jonathan Taylor's ankle still is, um then that may seem to be the only reason why the Indianapolis Colts won't get Jonathan Taylor back on the field, at least right away. Uh, Again, I'm just speculating. I don't 100% know what's going on clearly, but Jonathan Taylor is going to start this training camp on the PUP list, and this comes as a very big shock because I never would have expected this. Let me know your thoughts, guys, on him ending up on the PUP list. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And as always, go Colts.